Yaakov gets to the mountaintop, and it says that to protect himself from the wild animals, he builds a wall of rocks around his head. The obvious question is, what do you mean a wall of rocks around his head? What type of protection is that? When you see someone hiding and his feet stick out from under the car, or you see someone hiding behind a curtain and his feet are sticking out, it's pretty obvious it's not going to work. What did Yaakov think he was going to protect himself by only putting the rocks around his head? We noticed that it doesn't say he was afraid of the wild animals. He said because of the wild animals. Was he afraid from them or was he not afraid from them? The answer is, at the end of last week's Parsha, it says that Yaakov's mother and father called him in and said, Esav's about to kill you, it's time to leave. And then his father told him, okay, we're to go to find a shidduch. And then the Torah tells us Yaakov left as his parents commanded him. It does not say he left because he was afraid of Esav. His parents didn't tell him to be afraid of Esav. Yaakov was the ultimate person of following Kibbut Avim, and he went as the Torah said it. It means it's 100% accurate. The Torah said he left because of his parents' commandment. It had nothing to do with any personal vested fear at all. Why? Because he didn't have a fear there either. We spoke about Rabbi Gershom Liebman. Rabbi Gershom Liebman survived the Holocaust. He was in the Vilna ghetto, and there's many amazing stories how he survived. And one of his students said that he was once running through Vilna because the police were chasing, trying to round up people, and he saw him sitting and learning. So he ran upstairs to the Beis Medrash and said, Rabbi Gershom, the Nazis are coming down the block. He said, you're right. When they get to the door, we have to do our shtadlos. We have to do our part. What's our part? We're going to hide behind the door. Silly, like a comic. Because he held on his level that we are not at. On his level, he held, you have to do a certain amount. And after that, you start thinking it's in your power. The more you do is because the more you think you have the control. But it's not true. We have to do our bare minimum based on the level you're at. To him, hiding behind the door was all that was required. After that, he fully recognized Hashem was involved. As I said before, he survived the Holocaust doing millions of little acts like this. The bare minimum of what he held was required. After that, he relied on Hashem. Rabbi Chaskel Abramsky was sent to Siberia. And when he was there, he got up in public and said, the Gemara says, Hakol b'idei Shemaim, everything is in God's hands. Wealth, brains, statuses, chutz mitzinim apachim, except for what? Health, colds, tzinim apachim, catching a cold, being too hot. That's the normal way of the world. You walk outside, you know to put on a coat, you don't, it's your fault. He said out loud in public, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that's a normal thing that applies to 99% of the world. But here in Siberia, with clogs and no clothing, Hakol b'idei Shemaim, afilu tzinim apachim, even catching a cold. It's not up to me. I'm not given the ability to put on the proper clothing to do anything about it. And it says he was there for a couple years, and the only one in his area that never got sick. Because he was at a level realizing that Hakol b'idei Shemaim, everything is in God's hands. Yaakov Avinu wasn't afraid. He looked around, he had 12 stones there. He said, okay, this will just protect my head. That's all I have to do. No fear involved. Everything is min hashamayim. That's the lesson of this parsha. To realize Hakol b'idei Shamayim.